Good afternoon, guys. James Piscopo here, realtor with the Bauer Group. Today we're over in Newport News. It's in my neck of the woods, actually. It's about 5 minutes from my house. This is a cool little property. 80 Anchorage. It is waterfront, river slash marsh slash creek front to be more specific. And you can see it runs all the way up here, actually. Runs to the side of the house. I like the privacy of the driveway. I think it's really cool. It's a really long driveway. And it sets the house back basically on the water. To your left is water and vegetation. To your right, obviously a nice privacy fence for your neighbor there. I like the house. Hey, this is something that my wife would love because she is totally in love with anything that sits on water. And from here, it'd be nice to maybe top some of these so you could get like a better view of out there. But it is really pretty. Hey, once we get to the back of the house, side of the house, there's a fantastic view of the water on that side. Tons of windows, lots of natural light in the home. It's pretty gloomy out today. I'm not gonna tell any fibs. With that hurricane out there on the water, everything's been, nice and overcast and gray. Your sidewalk and the driveway itself looks pretty great. There is a little bit of a dip I noticed here. Coincidentally, though, I don't see any cracking in the concrete, which is kind of odd. Normally, you would think if it sunk, it would have a crack in it, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Some cracks down there and a couple hairlines here as well, but overall, really good shape. Same with all this. Looks to be pretty good. I didn't see anything that made my eyes bulge or anything like that. I think it's stucco. There's some sort of textured paint on there. I'm not entirely sure, so forgive me if that's not stucco, but it's like some texturized thing. As you can see it's like a texturized paint, and most of it looks pretty darn good. I didn't really see anything that was crazy alarming. A couple like settling fractures, like you got one right here, small one right here. So there is, couple of them all throughout on the outside. One right here. It looks like maybe somebody has tried to make some sort of repair. So with that in mind, and the home being set on the water, I would definitely recommend a quality home inspection, and then that way you have a really good idea of how the underside of this house looks. I didn't go in, but there's a little access port over here on, actually I'll show you. Over here on this side there's a little access port, and I stuck my head in there and shined the flashlight, and it looked super clean. It looked like they had recently did the vapor barrier and stuff under there as well. So a little interesting little flaw that I saw here. So again, I would really like to know what the interior wall of this looks like, and if it's anything to be alarmed with. Like I said, when I peeked in, I didn't really see anything too fishy. Hey. Good view. It looks kind of swampy out here. It could definitely use to be cleared out, but you'll see once we get a little bit of like elevation up on this deck, the view is pretty sweet. The siding looked great. All the windows look great. The roof and stuff, I didn't see anything glaring either. So all of that is good news. Looks like maybe they had some sort of kayak stand right there. And actually look, there's like a little retaining wall here. So that's interesting. Interesting. It is pretty close. So like I would think that you probably would need flood insurance for this home. Now how big of a risk is it? Just simply because this is a little creek. If you look at this site like on a satellite view and look at the Google Maps, it's not actually like super close to the water. This is kind of just like how the Warwick River ends up going to a creek, and then like this is the very end of it. The house is also up off of the ground quite a bit as well, 6 feet up, so to have any damage to like the actual home itself, you'd have to have a ton of water rise. Something to keep in mind. That's why like waterfront is so cool and everybody loves it. But there's always that, isn't there? Alright, let's go inside and we'll take a look. 3-bedroom, couple bathrooms. The flooring makes it look like a little bit dated. And the fixtures in it as well make it look a little bit dated. But that's kind of one of those double-edged sword things. Some people don't want to mess with stuff like that. Me, personally, when I bought my house, it was something that I kept in mind because I knew when I replaced this outdated countertop and this brown toilet seat that it would add a little bit of equity to my house. And I love stuff like that, you know. Easy stuff to put some money in your pocket. As you see when you come into the home, little mud area. The tile is nice. I don't see any cracks, anything at all. I mean, I was stomping all around through this house. I didn't feel any soft spots, anything funky like that. There was one spot right here that made a slight noise when I stepped on it, but I literally think it's just the underpinning, you know, the underpinning underneath the clicking floor. 2 bedrooms downstairs and 1 bedroom / lofty thing upstairs. I say lofty thing because it doesn't, there's no door, you know? So I don't want to, it's loft, it's reminiscent of a loft to me. As you see, they're like really open. Great big ceilings, like I freaking really like it. Kitchen is to our right here. From, you know, the front way leads you over to the garage. Clearly you have a bedroom, bathroom, 2nd bedroom, and then your master is down that way. So the kitchen, again, like, it's a freaking sweet size. It's just a little bit dated from the countertops. The cabinetry itself is actually quite nice. It'd be like a good candidate for a paint. You know, if you had like a quality, maybe not a DIY, I see some bad DIY ones, but if you had a quality craftsman come in and paint these, they could look really nice. And then again, replace this 90s Formica with some quartz or some marble, and you've got a really sick kitchen here. Tons of countertop space, tons of cabinetry. This is interesting. I want to call it a pantry, but I'm hesitant to call it a pantry because you have a dryer hook up there and a washer hook up there. But let's take a peek in the garage and see if under further investigation, looking for a light here, guys, sorry. Let's try this. No light. Okay, well, I'm not sure how to turn the light on. You can see though, it's a 1-car garage. Your air conditioning unit and your water heater is in here. I'm gonna tell you right now, the water heater is probably 10, 15 years old at least, just because they stopped making white ones a while ago. I know it's dark in here, and just bear with me. I'm gonna try to get something off of this thing. 99. So that's old. You can replace that whenever you'd like. This looks much newer. Try to find the serial number. Sorry for this god-awful footage I'm giving you. But I'm just trying to find a sticker so we can see what we can see. 1011 on that. Not sure if you can see that. You can often Google the serial numbers and it'll give you a date, but that says 1011. So I'm gonna think probably that it was manufactured in 2010 or 2011. And the month would be 10 or 11, depending on whether or not that manufacturer sets the month or the year first. I didn't see any washer and dryer hookup in there. So maybe this is your washer and dryer hookup, which seems odd to me because it's set up as a pantry, but maybe I missed something on my initial walkthrough. Decent view of the kitchen here, and I'm standing backed up against some counters and stuff too, so it is really a decent size. I like the cutout too, that you can actually see all the way to the water from right here. It's pretty sweet. Nice privacy fence and beautiful view of your neighbor's home here. Your neighbor has a really nice house. A lot of these houses are really pretty. Your utilities outside all looked in good shape. If I remember at the end of this video, I'll walk back out there and take a look, but that is a giant unit for this home. And I believe this is a generator here. So it's always good to have an oversized unit. You never want one too small. You can't really have one too big, in my opinion, because they just essentially efficiently run until they don't have to anymore. Whereas a small one is running all the time. I dig it. I like this house, guys. Again, like bathroom, this is our first guest bedroom and our communal bathroom, right? The bathroom is fine. but it needs an update. It's this wood and the color of the tub that is just making it seem quite dated. Otherwise though, the square footage and the layout and stuff like that is really good, it's functional. Could you get a king size bed in this room? Yeah, you absolutely could. And you'd still have some room to do jumping jacks or cartwheels, should you feel so inclined. I suppose maybe against that wall or this wall here, because you're not putting it against this wall, and I wouldn't want to have it underneath the pretty windows. All these windows are newer as well. See, they're double pane, energy efficient. Inside the house, I don't hear a peep of wind noise or anything like that. It's pretty windy. As you see, the wind is blowing a little bit. All sounds pretty good. Freaking sweet walk-in closet. I love that. Somebody's already done a plumbing repair once upon a time because you have access to your backside of your shower. So tons of storage in here. Attic access right there. There's no dome on that light. Bane of my existence when it comes to home inspections. They're gonna flag that as a safety hazard. I didn't really take a whole good view, and I apologize of the the kitchen appliances themselves are early 2000s, late 1990s. They look good, they look clean. It's a Bosch dishwasher, so I bet that works pretty darn well. But yeah, there's just dated. There's some dated things in here. This living room, though, come on with the 20-foot ceilings. Like, I really like it. The windows, the fireplace. Again, like the paint in this house is like perfect. It's nice white. It's not eggshell or anything funky. It's just these fixtures, like the color of this. Same thing with the fireplace, right? It's kind of trapped back in the 90s. But the square footage layout and stuff is great. It's got a decorative ceiling in here. Really cool. Of course, your deck looking out over there. And your primary bedroom here, which is huge, and tons of windows, and you can literally see right out to the water, bathroom and stuff down that way. Before I do pop in there though, I'm gonna take you up to this second guest area. Again, I hesitate to call it a bedroom. I know it's technically a bedroom because it has closets and you know, it is air conditioned, so it is a bedroom, but I'd just like to see a door on it, if I was being honest. I might, if it was my house, I would think long and hard about filling that in with drywall and actually putting a door there. But to each their own. Two closets or one long closet? What do we got? We have two closets. So 2 foot by 4 foot-ish. Same thing on this side, 2 foot by 4 foot-ish. There's a lapse in audio in the last minute and a half because somebody was calling me. They called me twice. I apologize. Windows there, windows there. Nice echo. And look, man, I do love that. I really do. It's gorgeous. You could use clearing some of this stuff out, you know, it's like, it'd look even nicer. But if you like nature, if you like waterfront, and you like trees, then this is the place for you. Trees present an issue in themselves when you buy a home because they can become an insurance thing really quick, but you know, that's why you pay for the insurance, is so they can fix things when bad stuff happens. Just getting a good view of this tape here. I don't think this is structural. I think you just have some popping of the drywall. It doesn't feel soft or wet or anything like that. A little spongy right here, but nothing too crazy. You just hope that window isn't leaking. Again, home inspection, and somebody come out here smarter than me and does that for a living. Huge room. Hey, this is probably 20 odd feet this way and 30 odd feet this way. It's a great size. little dark in here, to be honest. Again, dated fixture, somewhat dated flooring, the walls, windows, the square footage itself is really nice. King size bed in this room, abso-freaking-lutely, like no problem with it at all. A little flaw in the floor installation here. I thought I saw one out here as well. Okay, maybe you can see it on the camera. Yeah, you sort of can. See right here? It's a little bit of a flaw there. And again, I'm being nitpicky. Like the house is really quite clean. Right here, kind of hard to see. Right here, a little flaw as well. Otherwise, it all looks great. If this was a nice sunny day, like it would be fully like bright in here. But like I said, it's gloomy. It's very gloomy. You can't really see the sky at all. It's all clouds, overcast. View over the back deck. Back deck looked good. It's older for sure, but nothing really stood out to me. There wasn't any soft spots or anything like that. We'll walk out in a second and check it out. Bedroom is huge. The ceiling is like, I got a full-blown echo in here. I'm not showing my wife this house. Nice cabinetry, tons of it too. Tons of storage, just somewhat dated once again. And it really is like, it's just the countertop that's really killing it. And like the shade of color of this door, you know. A lot of people, you know, people like modern stuff. For some people, this is just fine. They like wood like this. For me, I'm not a fan. I would paint the door white. I'm sorry that I am this way. Another walk-in closet here. Good size. And the bathroom itself, again, same story as kind of the rest of the house. The square footage is great. The fan is loud. What is a good size? Really good size bathroom. Like you could lay on the floor in there. Shower is all plenty efficient and functional. Could use a beaded caulk down the bottom. But otherwise, all good. Just a little bit on the dated side. Let's check out this deck and look at this view, and then I will leave you for the day. This window's kind of run a little bit long here. Looks like they're doing some tree chopping up and removing some of the debris and stuff from out here. Deck looks great. Didn't see or feel anything. One thing that I did kind of note is like, and I don't know, maybe it's just planned to be that way. But all of the railing is like leaned down, which it very well might just be that way, you know, for like drainage when the water hits it, it rolls off. It just seemed kind of strange to me. I'm not sure if you can even see that. But otherwise, it all looked great. It's wooded. The property runs a weird triangle, so it runs off the neighbor's fence and runs basically that way and this way. So all of this is yours and runs this way. I'm not sure anybody actually owns all of this over on this side. When I looked at the parcel map, it's a big old chunk of land, so I'm not exactly sure. There aren't any like buildings or anything like that. Like the fence just runs that way, or the fence and the property line rather. Roof looks good. Don't see anything really. This has got a couple dirty spots on it, but otherwise I don't see anything weird. Granules on it look good too. Like it's pretty. There's plenty of friction left on it. And unfortunately, I didn't have the key for that storage shed right there, and I didn't have the key for that storage shed there either. But yeah, everything looks great. Everything's nice and pretty. I actually quite like this house. It's got some charm to it. It's in a great neighborhood. Square footage is lovely. It's just a little bit dated on the inside. And I would definitely recommend a quality home inspection just because it is on the water. So you can, get a good look at the foundation of the house and make sure that there's nothing that needs to be addressed. Because the house is somewhat old. Very well could be the case. Great house though. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I'm always available to chat with you. And once again, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. And I'll be here for you should you need me. Thanks so much, y'all. Have a great day.